Hello, it's a Sunday evening. I wanted to give the Ozarks a quick little update about some active weather coming up. We'll start with the severe weather side of things. So Tuesday, the SPC in their morning outlook put us in a slight risk, or at least about half the Ozarks in a slight risk. So Springfield is right here, right centered in Greene County there pretty much, and we have a quickly ramping up severe weather threat from, let's say, Howe County up to Joplin. It goes from practically no chance to about a 2 out of 5 chance. And of course, this will be adjusted as the days are coming up here. But this is a pattern, if you were to enlarge it, and I will here in a second by looking at the CSU probability, that is part of a frontal system. So when you get closer to this, sometimes the little areas of enhancement will show up. And the idea that we would know tornado potential 2 days away like this, 2.5 days away, is not great. But again, with subsequent outlooks, when you start seeing the fine scale detail of all the thunderstorms that are likely to form, it'll give you a slightly better opinion. So just kind of a heads up, which is the name of the video, about Tuesday and some severe storm risk. This also implies it's going to be later in the day. This is the kind of thing where the thunderstorms form out here and then kind of slide in from the northwest. Let's take a look at that CSU outlook here. And the tornado probability is at 2%. Runs from Wisconsin right down to Oklahoma City and all points in between. So that's very much coincident with where I just showed you the SPC outlook is. And they put about the same possibility, except they back off on the hail. That's what this chart is. And put the maximum down there around Wichita Falls, Texas. Same with the wind. The maximum's down in Oklahoma, Wichita Falls, but there is a general area all up and down here, including the Ozarks, where wind and hail will be a possibility. So then I want to switch gears and talk about heavy rains. So what the National Weather Service does is they issue these heavy rain outlooks. It's very much the same as the severe weather outlooks, where green is kind of a slight chance and yellow is kind of a moderate chance. So starting on Tuesday, the rain really starts to develop here, so there's a good chance of some heavy potential flooding rain out in this area here on Tuesday. On Wednesday, this is the day that I think has a little more contention to it. So I think that even though they put this slightly higher risk area down to the south and west of the Ozarks proper, I think there is room for this to maybe extend further up toward us. And I'll show you some evidence of that here in a second. So if we look at the total precipitation as forecast by the government, this is the not the Storm Prediction Center, but the Weather Prediction Center's QPF, Quantitative Precipitation Forecast. It's a government acronym, imagine that. So the Ozarks are in about 2 to 3 inches of rain here for the next 5 days. The bulk of that falls beginning on Tuesday, Wednesday, and even Thursday, with the heavier totals reserved for southeast Oklahoma, where you see 4 and even 5 inch totals down in this part of the world. So the last two things we'll do is take a look at two model runs. This is the GFS model run. And this is rainfall accumulated forecast through Wednesday. You'll notice Springfield's not really in on the game on this particular model, less than an inch. But just out to southeast Kansas, we've got 5, almost 6 inches of rain there, and just over 4 inches of rain in eastern Oklahoma. And generally speaking, there's a heavy rain band right here. So that kind of supports that graph that I showed you for Tuesday, where it was kind of elongated, only this is slightly different orientation. And then we'll look at the Euro model finally, and same time period now through Wednesday at midnight, and you'll notice that the rain is not as heavy, but it is dispersed a lot differently, including much more of the Ozarks. So there is room for play here. I think by the time all is said and done, southwest Missouri will have anywhere from 2 to 4 inches of rain, depending on where you're at, and it'll probably lean a little bit heavier to the north and west of Springfield.